Bitcoin has found itself in quite an interesting spot here recently, and I just want to take a look at a couple of different scenarios right now. I have been watching this red resistance line, kind of expecting a bit of a third touch point along this before some kind of rejection, and if we get that, I do really, I mean, everyone wants to see Bitcoin move to the upside, but I really want to see a third rejection off this resistance line before we're to break it, just to give it a little more credibility, in my opinion. I personally like to see breakouts of trend lines after 3 rejections. I don't really like to see it after just 2 touch points like this if we were to just blast off like that. I think if that happens, there's a larger possibility that we just end up setting some kind of lower high just below this structure over here, perhaps. And then taking a little plunge to the downside. So if we do make that break to the upside, I would love to see that third rejection, some kind of a little pullback, and then a break and retest and carry on to the upside. On the opposite end, if we end up losing this little bit of support we have, I mean, I already don't like that we kind of very briefly lost this level from back here. But what we do have is we have this potential double bottom here, so I don't want to rule anything out for the bulls because obviously this trend is to the upside. I've been very vocal about the fact that I do think the bottom is in, but that could still lead to a lot of volatility. I'm by no means saying that we're about to go parabolic. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But if we do end up losing this bit of support that we have here, I think it makes a lot of sense that we would end up testing this opposite line. So I got my green support line here. I think that line would also be very reasonable to expect a third touch point along that trend line. If we do end up getting a test there, especially if we get some sort of support showing or even some kind of a failed break just below but closing the candle bodies above this level, I think that could be grounds for a beautiful long opportunity. If we end up getting that third touch point, some kind of a bounce, and then break that line, same thing, guys. I'd be looking for that retest, looking for some kind of rejection there, which may be a great short opportunity to end up testing much lower down to my green box here. So yeah, very interesting point that we're at right now. I do still think that the structure on the overall chart here for Bitcoin is bullish just because we had this low, we had a lower low, and then we even set one more low below that. Our highest point between those 2 last lows would be this level here. I outlined it with my white line here. So that really was the line in the sand. And the fact that we broke it, yes, we could still dump back down below that line. That's totally normal to see some kind of a pullback. Ideally, yes, we see this kind of zone turn into support. That would be perfect technical analysis there. Just seeing a strong resistance level flipping into support. That would be great. Does not have to play out that perfectly, though. We may see some kind of a bigger pullback. We're going to have to see what happens there. So yeah, like I said, as it stands right now, wouldn't be too surprised to see some kind of a double bottom here. Even if we did drop a little bit, same thing if we got some kind of a failed break, but just a wick and we're closing bodies back up inside this green box. I think, again, that just may be an opportunity to see that pump up towards that red trend line. That would be absolutely beautiful. Another coin that I've actually been paying more attention to recently has been Pepe. Yes, it's a shit coin, it's a meme coin. You guys know how I feel about those, but it has been very volatile and it's been respecting the hell out of basic technical analysis. And when I say that, I mean higher highs, higher lows, as well as lower lows, lower highs. Just basic, very basic chart structure. It's been respecting it very well. As it stands right now in the hourly here, we are coiling up in this little bit of a triangle. If we were to get some kind of a breakout, I mean, could be a fairly juicy move. Let's say if we get a breakout to the upside, I mean, that would really be around a 16% pump to the upside from where we're currently standing. And, you know, that would line up quite well with the resistance of our higher range here. Yes, it's green. Just pretend that's red there. Nice resistance box there, so a measured move would take us up there. If we are to break to the downside, absolutely see possibilities for a fairly decent drop to the downside. I really don't think Pepe's in too bad of a position right now. Because much like Bitcoin, I think it did break a downtrend that it did have. And what I mean by that is we obviously have our low here, lower low, highest point between the two is here. We obviously broke above that and have been basically trading sideways since then in a nice volatile range. Like I said, these meme coins are super volatile, so they've been really fun. Quite honestly, yes, I think it's in a fairly good position, but the invalidation of this bullish structure is such a far ways away. I personally like trading these meme coins on very degenerate time frames, 1 minute and 5 minute charts, just because I'm not comfortable with my stop loss this far away as far as an invalidation goes, looking for kind of a swing trade. Just not in a good spot there for my typical trade setup. So I'm not interested in taking these longer term trades. When it comes to meme coins, shit coins in general, I like scalping. Personally, I actually just prefer scalping in all my trading, to be quite honest. That's just me personally. I'm not saying go trade the 1 minute. It's totally what works for you. I personally like being a degen and trading those levels. But when I was talking about the structure of this chart being quite interesting. For one, actually, I want to also mention, if we break above this triangle, I am interested in this red trend line, this horizontal resistance, just because, once again, we had a low here, lower low, highest point between the two is right there, so there's our lower high. That's the level. I want to see some candle bodies closing above that before I flip too bullish on Pepe. Right now, I really have no opinion about it. As far as trading it, I've been scalping, like I said, very short time frames. But just to show how well the structure of this chart has been respected and how it respects those lower highs, lower lows, that kind of thing. Just here's an example. You know, here we had our low, we had a lower low, highest point between that. Here's our lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Where do we go from there? We have another lower low, and that would be our lower high here. Notice, actually, I got to reverse this a little bit. What I want to point out about this is also that notice how the lower high never gets broke on this trend. So we have our lower, we have a low, lower low, like I said, lower high. That level is not even close to being broken. Set a new lower low, so now we have a lower high, once again, not broken, lower low, lower high, clearly not broken as well, lower low, lower high, once again, not even close to being broken. From here, where's our next lower low would be here, lower high here, once again got close but was not broken. And now we had our final lower low here as far as this trend currently stands, and here was our lower high. So you can see that we did finally break that downtrend. So now basically that's why I say I think Pepe is not in too bad of a position, because it did at least break some kind of a downtrend there. For an invalidation of this, as I was talking, would basically be dropping this green box, which is unfortunately 30% away. So like I said, as far as a swing trade with leverage, that gets very risky. That's why I personally prefer to scalp it. But anyways, that's just kind of what I'm looking at with Pepe. Like I said, that's just such beautiful chart structure. Just going for lower lows, lower highs. Hopefully that all made sense. Rewatch this video if you need to, because I think a lot of people misunderstand lower lows, lower highs, just chart structure in general. I think a lot of people don't necessarily wait for that confirmation of a break before considering that confirmed lower level. So that's just something that I do talk about in quite a few of my streams, my videos and that sort of stuff. So yeah, like I said, this chart just respects the technicals so well, and even down to the 5 minute, the 1 minute, etc. I've really been having a lot of luck playing with this one, and it's super volatile, and honestly just using very basic chart structure, as well as my favorite MDX algo indicators once in a while. Obviously throw these up. You can see we are facing a little bit of resistance here. We got this resistance cloud here, so gonna have to see what happens. But I'm playing this, like I said, very short-term scalps when I'm playing these super volatile coins like this. So I don't want to go too far into analysis with this, because yeah, like I said, I just like to play the much shorter time frames with it. But yeah, been scalping the hell out of this coin. Honestly, been paying attention to it a lot more than I've been paying attention to Bitcoin, just because it has been so volatile and has been respecting basic technical analysis so clearly and so well. So anyways, guys, I know I haven't been around too much lately. Sorry about that. I've been very busy. Just as if any of you guys are from Canada, you appreciate the nice spring weather, the summer. We had a very cold, harsh winter. Usually do, to be honest. But yeah, I've just been doing a lot of yard work, a lot of house cleaning, been kite surfing a bunch. We got our wind season and it's kind of short-lived, so I'm kind of licking the plate on that. Had a kite surfing event out of town for a few days. Been really busy, so I'm going to try and be a little more active in my videos. I want to get back on my Degen streams with the MDX Algo community, obviously. If you want to be a part of that, I do have a referral link down below. That's for these beautiful indicators, and as well just the MDX Algo Discord community. That would be MDX Cryptos VIP. Very supportive, very helpful community. Everyone is just fantastic in there, true legends in there. So if you want to be a part of my live streams and seeing how I'm trading and reacting to the price live, that's only in my live streams in the Algo there. So like I said, discount link down below for that. As it stands, yeah, that's all I really wanted to go over. Just a quick market update. Like I said, Bitcoin's at an interesting place, possible double bottom here, but I think it's only a matter of time until we either get some kind of a pump and rejection off this red line, or some kind of a dump and maybe find some kind of a bounce off this green trend line. I mean, I think it only makes sense that we see a third touch point on one of those relatively soon. And then we're going to have to see what happens from there. As I always say, it's more important to be able to react rather than predict. Being able to predict is great, but, you know, depending how... I don't just set blind orders. I'm not just taking blind shorts at this level or blind long limits at this level. I like to see how the price reacts to those levels before I actually set any trades. And like I said, I'm usually on shorter time frames, but it's great to have a general idea of the market. What it's doing on these longer time frames before picking a bias. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to go over with you guys. If you did appreciate this quick market update, be sure to give me that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and like I said, there's a referral link if you want to join in on my live streams, as well as getting these beautiful indicators that I know and love. Yeah, with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.